today's topic is going to be on the 7 rules of selling. 7 rules of selling. And these are just some things that I personally think are really important. You could call them fundamentals of selling. There's a lot you could add probably to this list, but I think these are the big ones for me. If you paid attention to my presentation or you saw me in the home, these are the things that I try to really make sure I bring to the table. I talk about putting your A game on, your game face, and having your A game ready to go. And, well, these are the things you've got to have in the home every single day. All right? So, 7 rules of selling. Always assume on the door approach and in the home, okay? Always assume. Now, again, just like when we talk about 3 guarantees, I could just tell you, hey, guys, always assume, and that might not have the same impact. So I'm going to expound on what always assume means and what that looks like, okay? So a lot of agents just think that means, look confident, and that's part of it, but that's not what I mean, okay? What I mean is you need to really practice your verbal communication skills. When you get to the door, you don't have time to think about what you're going to say. You need to know, and it needs to come off as assumptive. Hey, Mrs. Johnson, I'm here to drop off that information that you requested. See, my voice tone and inflection is assumptive. It only takes me a few minutes. I'm meeting everyone in your area today. I do apologize for not calling you, but there wasn't a number on the card. And a lot of times there's not a number, so you could use that one. And there's several things you could say in that moment. I don't want to get too far into that today, but I want you to go with the very assumptive that I'm here today because you requested me here, okay? Now, again, if you walk up to the door and you're sheepish and you're like, hey, you sent this card in the mail about life insurance, and, could I come in and talk to you about that? You're dead on arrival. I'll just tell you right now, you're going to get 2 out of 10, which are the laydowns, and then you're going to get told to go away because you're not confident. You're not assumptive. You're not assuming anything. You are weak, really. If I can be real, use that word. You're weak at the door. And then let's talk about in the home, all right, when you assume. So, again, from the very start, I don't care if the person tells me I'm not interested. I don't need anything. I'm good enough. Man, I am confident. I am beaming with knowledge. I go in there like I am the benefits coordinator for Columbus, Ohio. I have programs available that are the best available. That is the attitude I'm going in there with because I do, okay? And I believe that personally. I've seen what's out there. We are crushing our competition. But you have got to assume they're going to buy, okay? Don't assume that they're going to buy. Really, it's a question of how much are they going to buy, okay? How we do that is we encourage our clients through the presentation. We encourage them by the things we say, the things we do. We compliment them on their decision to get this done before they get too sick. We thank them for being healthy and how much easier it makes our job and, all the things we talk about every day on these calls. So remember, when you get to the end of the presentation, you need to assume they're going to buy. And this is where most agents lose it. They have a great presentation. They do a great job. They build credibility. They do a good warm-up. They do a good job on the 3 guarantees. And they get to the end and they say something like, well, what do you think? Or would you like to buy? Or do you want to get this started today? Very, very weak, all of those, okay? Guys, ask for the sale, man. Sales are not made because people don't ask. See, again, I get it closed before they have a chance to say no. Those are hard. First of all, those are very open-ended, and you're exposing yourself to the client saying, no, I'm going to think about it. Or, well, let me think on it. You've left the door wide open for them to just walk out on you. See, we're engaged in a presentation. We're locked in conversation. I've gone through all the powerful stories and the guarantees and the things which get them emotionally attached. And then I opened the door for them to leave when they were already engaged enough to say yes, because they assumed it was going to be a deal. They already knew it, and you opened it up, so you can't do it. You got to assume that they're going to buy. So a difference, the way I would close, and I think it's a much better way to close, is, and Miss Betty, I want to congratulate you. I'll tell you what, on your health. You are actually eligible for day one benefits. Nobody gets that. I would tell you what, all the stuff you see out in the mail, 2-year, 3-year waits, because it's true, so much of what I see is 2- and 3-year waits. And you're actually in our A-plus category, and I'll tell you, that's a premium plan, and you're going to qualify for the immediate coverage. Okay, I just met with somebody this morning, and she didn't qualify for this, and usually that's the case, all right? Now, I've got 3 options for you here. And boom, boom, hit them with those 3. Which one of those, Miss Betty, is the most affordable and you like the most? Now, I didn't ask her if she was going to buy. I just said which one is the most affordable, which one do you like the most, okay? Here's another thing I want you to understand. Did you notice my voice inflection change? I just realized that I wasn't even paying attention, but it changes because I go in serious Tony Sachs mode, okay? There's fun, there's warm-up Tony, there's joke Tony, there's all this stuff. During health questions, during close, it's serious. It's stoic. Why? Because this is a serious time. I want the client to understand it's serious. And they will, again, communication is less verbal than you realize. Voice inflection says a lot. And so my serious tone came out. It got a little quieter, Miss Betty, what do you want to do here? In that sense. Now, I'm not going to say it like that, but that's what I'm saying. Which one do you want? Not are you going to buy, but which one? Again, people hate telling you no. So at that point, they have to say, I do not want this. And most people do not like to do that. They like to beat around the bush. And usually, and I'll tell you this, if you're not doing it, I promise you do it, and you'll tell me I'm right. Usually they'll pick the middle option. They might even pick the biggest option. If they do, then I'll oftentimes either step it up and say, hey, listen, that's $15,000, that's great. Is that really affordable? I do want to let you know you qualify for up to $25,000 or $30,000 if I hadn't already quoted that, and let them know there's more available. But again, after that, our goal is to identify the affordable premium. The next words out of my mouth are, the best part about this, Miss Betty, is that I don't need money today. My goal today is to go ahead and see if the company will qualify you. If they do, I'm going to go ahead and bring a policy back out. We're going to go over it together. But I want to make sure we're going to get you coverage. I want to bring that policy back so we can talk about it. And does that sound pretty good to you? And, of course, they're going to say yes because they didn't have any money because it's the 15th and they got paid on the 3rd, okay? And they've already spent all their money. Soft close. She's like, yeah, that's great. Okay, fantastic. Get out the app and start writing. Don't waste any more time. Don't talk yourself out of the sale, okay? Guys, selling is an art. I'm telling you, I'm not overthinking it. Every single thing in my presentation is done for a reason. Every question I ask is done for a reason. It's either to build rapport or I'm trying to lead them to a direction where they're thinking about, the end, and I want them to get emotionally involved. Everything happens for a reason, but you've got to assume all the way to the end they're going to buy. Again, don't ask questions that are going to get you in trouble. So, all right, so number 1 is always assume. Number 2, never lower the premium. Obviously, there's rules to this that could be broken, but I'm going to tell you right now, never lower the premium. What do I mean by that? All right, I hear this all the time where agents go in the homes and the client was paying, say, $30 more per month, and they've been doing that for 4 years. We'll use Lincoln Heritage as an example, maybe beat them up a little bit here. But, and again, nothing wrong with Lincoln Heritage. They just tend to be a little higher priced from time to time. But let's say you're competing with them. Client's paying $30 more per month for 4 years. It kills me when agents will say, I'm going to save you $30 a month. Because if you do that, you're just taking money out of your pocket, okay? Let's do some quick math here. So we'll do 30 and we'll do it times 12. That's the additional premium. That's $360 in annualized premium. Say we do an 80% contract, just because that's a good starting point here. That's about $288 in lost commission. Okay? So now at $288, by saving those folks money, probably is your gas for the month, could be your car payment, could be your leads for the week, could be a lot of things. And that's just one deal. That happens all the time. And agents, this is why some agents make $250,000 and some agents make $80,000 because they don't understand the principle of multiplying that money. Man, it compounds, okay? Now, have I lowered premium before? Yes. There's been a few times I have because clients specifically needed it lowered. They were going to lose their coverage anyways. They couldn't afford, the agent oversold. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about clients, and this happens all the time, where they're paying a ton of premium, and the agent comes in and says, hey, you've got $50,000. I'll go ahead and just, give you $50,000 for less. Guys, their family, they've already been paying it. Get them more coverage. Get them another $10,000 in coverage for nothing. It's bigger, and it sounds bigger. Here's where this really matters. $30 is a lot of money. Normally, the savings is not that much. Normally, it's around $7 to $8, okay? So let's say your client has $7 to $8 in additional premium they're paying to another company. We can save them with Mutual of Omaha. Now, most people, when you say I can save you $7 or $3, it doesn't sound very big. They're like, I don't want to change for that. Not enough. But when you say, Mr. Johnson, I'm actually going to provide your daughter an additional $1,500 of benefit when you pass away for nothing. Just because you are with us, we're going to get another $1,500 versus them. Now, who do you think needs that money more, that big insurance company or your daughter? That's the real conversation to have. See, that $1,500 sounds a lot bigger than usually $3 to $7 a month. What I like to do from there is even add another couple of dollars on it, maybe another $4 or $5, and say, Mr. Jones, for $5 more a month than what you're paying right now, I can get your daughter another $2,500 in death benefit when you pass away. For $5. See, I took the premium up $5, but got him so much more. See, it's all mindset. So I would say that one of the fundamentals to my success over the years, one of those rules of selling, is never lower the premium. If anything, I try to go up. But don't take money out of your pocket. It doesn't help you, and really it doesn't help your customer either when you think about it. All right, number 3, we got to move here. Selling everyone in the home. All right, it kills me when when agents don't do this. But man, I'll make people sit down with me. I walk in, there's 4 or 5 people there. Hey guys, go ahead and sit down. This is actually for the whole home. We only send one of these cards out per household, and so you should have gotten yours, but I apologize if you didn't. And you go ahead and set them all down and talk to them. We do only send 1 card per address. So there could be 5 people. You'll see this as you get into the business more if you're new. There might be 5, 6 people living there. Only one of them got the card. You need to take authority over the situation. Guys, I'm the local benefits coordinator. You know what? While I'm here, let me just get this information to you. I don't want to have to stop back by. It'd be really good if we just cover this together. Let's sit down and talk about it, okay? Again, my communication with everyone in the house is I am the person who's in charge. I am the authority figure, just like a social worker. We've hired a lot of law enforcement here at NSC, and those guys really understand that. When a police officer says, hey, come over here and sit down, you're going to go over and sit down, right? That's how it works. So when you say, hey, Ms. Johnson, let's go ahead and shut that TV off so I can go ahead and I need to hear myself talk to you, and then I want you to hear everything I'm sharing with you as well, and then it won't take long, and I'll get out of your hair and let you get back to your TV watching, However it is, but it's coming across with authority, okay? And then I'm going to get everyone else in the home. So I've made 4 or 5 sales before in one home. And I know for a fact agents will walk out of the homes many times and only get 1 deal, and that's great. They got the deal. But what if you could have gotten 3 deals, 4 deals, just by telling other people? See, A lot of people have the attitude that, oh, that's his or her business. I don't want to get involved in that. That's their business. That's true. That they're trying to be nice, so they're going to walk out and leave. But if you set that standard at the very beginning that this isn't just their business, this is for everyone here in the home. See, it's your job to set that standard. And so I want to encourage you to make sure you're selling the whole family, everyone in the home, the friends, the neighbors. The neighbors are sitting on the porch. You can always tell them, hey, I'll come over after I'm done here with Mr. Jones. But, however you do it, I don't care. Just get everyone there. I've sold so many, I've been to senior centers, and I was banging on the door across the street from someone else. You ever notice how the neighbor opens up their door like, who's banging on the door? They know it's not their door. They're just being nosy. Peek out. They want to see who's out there banging on someone's door. And, oh, she's at the store. Oh, okay. Did you get your card? You got to be quick, man, in the moment right there. So the client I was there to see is gone. The neighbor opens up their door. Well, I need to get you that information on those new state-regulated final expense benefits. If you got a couple minutes, I'll drop off that information to you here. Otherwise, I've got to come back and get it to you anyways. And, I'll see Miss Betty tomorrow then. Boom, in the door. I've made many deals off of a random. In fact, there's been times I never got back to see the original lead, but I sold someone else in the building. Exactly. I don't care how you get the $4,500 every week. You just need to get the $4,500, and then you'll be good. See what I'm saying? Don't overthink the business. Just get it. All right. Don't do one-leggers. This is super important, okay? What's a one-legger, you might ask? A spouse is not available, and you do the presentation without all the decision makers present, okay? This could technically also be someone who doesn't have control of their money, their daughter or payee needs to be there, and you waste a lot of time talking to them, and they don't really have the ability to make a decision. That's a one-legger. All right, but more often than not, it has to do with a spouse you're meeting, and oftentimes it's a door knock. Let's say you show up at the house, and Mrs. Johnson opens up. Oh, my husband's out. He'll be home later today. Okay. I'll come back then. What time do you think he'll be home? Around 5:30. Okay. Well, you can just get the information to me. No, I'm actually required by my company to drop it off to both of you, but it doesn't take but a minute. I'll be back tonight. I don't even leave my business card. Do you know why? Because I don't want them to call me and tell me they're not interested, because that's what happens. Leave your card, call you, hey, don't worry about coming over, we're good. Now, if I show back up, oftentimes it's like he's been told by her that someone's going to stop by, probably a salesperson. What's this all about? I'm standing there in the front yard. Hey, Mr. Jones, Tony Sachs, benefits coordinator, and I go into my spiel. It might even be a little abrasive initially. Maybe I'm interrupting dinner. I don't know. All right, come on in. We sit down. Pretty soon we're talking about the stuff that he likes. We're joking, building rapport. 2 hours later, I'm walking out of the deal with $1,800 in premium. They needed it. Maybe they didn't know what they had. Guys, I've had so many situations like that. Here's what poor agents do. Well, here's my card. Can you call me when your husband gets home, and I'll swing back by? You're already done. I'll just tell you. If that's how you're going to sell, you're already done. Cannot do that. You got to be smarter than people. Listen, people, I tell you this all the time. No one wants you there initially. Very few people. But after you get in there and you start talking to them, you find out that people are very thankful that you've come over. Because initially, people just assume you're a salesperson. They don't assume you can help them in any way. They just think you're going to take from them. So when you've had a chance to get in there and do a presentation and help them save money or get them additional coverage, better their family, now they're extremely thankful. But I want to explain to you, you're going to have, and I mentioned this before, natural sales resistance. Do not take it personal. It's just part of the business, okay? So don't do one-leggers. Always schedule to see both people. Quick story on the one-leggers. I mentioned this one before, but I think it's important to bring it up again. Had a guy tell me, hey, man, I make all these decisions. I'm the decision maker, real alpha male type. And it was kind of funny looking back because I remember he was real aggressive about it. I told him specifically, I need to come back and talk to you and your girl. I believe it was his girlfriend. He said, I make those decisions. So I went ahead and, went ahead and did the presentation. And what's he say at the end? Man, we had a great rapport. He's like, I need this the whole time. We get to the end. He looks up and says, I'm going to have to talk to her about this. I didn't even know what to say, flabbergasted, because the guy assured me he was the decision maker. Again, rookie mistake. I never did get that deal, I don't think. I don't remember. I don't think I did, looking back on it, because I think I had a hard time getting back, and I should have just left and come back to see her. All right? So I want to encourage you to always get both decision makers there. All right, let's go to the next one. Stay in control is super important. Clients will try to take control of the situation. I mentioned shutting the TV off. Listen, from the time you walk in that door, I say, hey, do you mind if we sit over here at the kitchen table? Or, let's sit here in the living room. You're in control. Remember, it's their home. Be respectful, but you need to be in charge. This is, again, you're setting the tone. This is important stuff we're talking about here. I've had to look before at a spouse, a wife, or a husband and say, hey, could you pay attention for a little bit here? You might say, well, that's aggressive. No. People need to be communicated with that way if they're not going to give you respect, okay? I'm never disrespectful. But sometimes you need to let them know that this is important stuff. Hey, can I get your attention for just 10 minutes while we finish this up? This is really important. How you say it is also important, but again, take control. Client will try to get distracted. They'll try to start talking about things that don't matter. You need to get them back on topic, back on where you want to be. Sometimes it's okay to let them deviate a little bit, but again, you're in control. You're controlling where you're going. Clients will try to tell you, I've got to go soon. Okay, where are they going? The store? That doesn't mean anything. Listen, don't get pushed out of the house quickly because they got to go to Kroger. That is not that important. Most of the time, they're just telling you something because they want to. You're interrupting their day. Hey, my TV show's coming on. Okay, we'll be all right, Mrs. Johnson. I'll try to get done quickly. Okay, guys, if you let them press you, they will. Okay. Again, I'm not too worried about it if they don't get to go and watch their TV show or waste time on something. That's what most of our clients do. When I show up, they're usually watching something on TV. And so people need your help. They'll be thankful one day. Their kids will be thankful that you were able to stay with it long enough to get the deal closed. Okay? So hang in there on the folks that keep trying to hold control. Don't muddy the waters. I'm going to go quickly now. This is where agents tend to overthink it. They over-expound on everything. Throw too much to the customers. They confuse the clients because they keep talking about all these other types of life insurance and the different options, and the client really doesn't know what they want then because you've given them all the – listen, I may talk about the other types of life insurance, but then it's whole life, whole life, whole life. I preach it. I'm on it. I'm Mrs. Johnson. This is what you need. This is what you want. Doesn't matter what company we've pulled out. It's the greatest thing that ever happened. People want to know that you believe what you're selling them. So do not muddy the waters. Do not make the decision up to them or let the decision be up to them. You're the one that's suggesting where they go. You're the one that's advising them on the proper coverage and what they need. I mean, again, you need to be in control and really make sure you're not giving them too much information. Again, muddying the waters. I'm not going to expound on it too much. There's a lot of areas we could go there. But just think about it. Keep it stupid simple. You'll make more deals, okay? And then I actually combined this one earlier with assume door approach and assume close is number 7. And so, guys, again, think through those. There are additional things you could add to the list. But I want you to really think about areas you can improve your presentation. And maybe there's some things I said today that you're like, hey, I'm not doing that. Or, you know what, I'm doing that wrong. And that's why I'm not having the same success that Tony's having or others are having. So I'm going to go ahead and make a few changes. Make small changes. Don't flip your presentation upside down tomorrow. Start changing a couple things every week until you master it. And eventually become the best presentation in the world, I promise. So hope you guys got something out of that today. Appreciate you listening.